what if the most powerful hero in the universe was also his own worst enemy? Today we're diving into the hidden origin of Marvel's unstoppable Sentry and the terrifying shadow known as the Void. Stick around to the end and you'll discover the shocking secret that could change everything you thought you knew about this godlike champion. Origins of power. Imagine a serum so potent it grants 1 million times the strength of an ordinary super soldier, yet hides a darkness just as immense. Robert Bob Reynolds began life as a down-on-his-luck World War II veteran haunted by survivor's guilt. After Steve Rogers vanished into the Arctic, Project Sentry was launched by the US and Canada, promising to recreate the super soldier serum on a monumental scale. But in the chaos of outsourced laboratories and competing contractors, the project was quietly shelved until 1977, when a maverick professor perfected what was later dubbed the Golden Sentry Serum. In a fateful break-in, Reynolds and a friend, both chasing a drug-fueled high, stole the formula. The result wasn't euphoria, but godlike powers, immortality, solar-based energy manipulation, matter reconstruction, and strength beyond cosmic measure. Reynolds obliterated everyone in his path, including his companion, as chaos erupted around him. In the aftermath, the government buried every trace of the project, except for the secret vials the professor hid away. Driven by obsession, Reynolds continued self-experiments until his body acclimated, birthing a superhero whose capabilities dwarfed even the legendary Hulk or Thor. But for all its promise, the serum delivered more than raw power. It awakened something far darker lurking within Robert's fractured psyche. This duality would soon redefine what it meant to be a hero and a villain on a cosmic scale. Yet his transformation into the Sentry was only half the story. The birth of the Sentry. In August 2000, an unexpected sensation rocked Marvel Comics. The Sentry #1 introduced readers to a virtually omnipotent being who could and would rewrite reality. Created by writer Paul Jenkins and artist Jay Lee, with conceptual input from Rick Veitch, the series teased a golden guardian whose power of 1,000,000 exploding suns was matched only by his mystery. Early issues showcased jaw-dropping feats, flight at hypersonic speeds, molecular reconstruction to repair collapsing star systems, and the ability to resurrect the fallen. Bob Reynolds emerged not as a bombastic show-off, but as a brooding, reluctant champion, struggling to reconcile his mundane memories with the weight of godlike responsibility. Media within the comics portrayed the Sentry as an enigma. Photographer Peter Parker even won a Pulitzer capturing the Sentry's silhouette against an exploding sun, while news outlets dubbed him the Golden Guardian, hailing him as the savior who single-handedly contained interdimensional threats. Yet behind the spectacle, few suspected the cracks forming in his mind. As alliances formed, with the Avengers, the New Avengers, and later the Dark Avengers, Reynolds' public image alternated between savior and ticking time bomb. Critics and fans alike praised the character's blend of cosmic power and human vulnerability, cementing the Sentry as one of Marvel's most compelling and unpredictable heroes. But before long, the world would discover that his greatest enemy was the one he carried within. The Dark Reflection. Enter the Void. Every hero has an origin story, but few are shadowed by self-destruction. Unbeknownst to Bob Reynolds, every surge of heroic energy birthed a malignant counterpart, the Void. Conceived from his repressed fears, insecurities, and guilt, the Void manifested as pure chaos, unconstrained by morality or empathy. Its first major atrocity occurred in Manhattan, where the Void unleashed apocalyptic power, obliterating skyscrapers, leveling bridges, and killing over 1,000,000 civilians in moments. In the carnage, the Sentry's loyal sidekick Scout was horribly maimed, his face shredded, arm torn away, while the Hulk, once empowered by the Sentry's inspiration, found every bone in his body shattered and his psyche traumatized. As New York smoldered, the Fantastic Four arrived to find Bob Reynolds lying unconscious amid the ruins, the Void momentarily dormant. The revelation crushed the superhero community. The man they hailed as savior was also their gravest threat. Reed Richards and Dr. Strange constructed a device to erase all memory of both the Sentry and the Void, reasoning that if Bob never re-became the Sentry, the Void could never awaken. The world forgot, but the Void remained, waiting in the shadows of Robert's mind. With reality itself at stake, the next chapters would pit the Sentry against legendary adversaries, and force him to confront his own sanity. Major comic book arcs. The Sentry's epic journey wove through Marvel's most turbulent storylines. First, in New Avengers number 11 to 12, the memory wipe conspiracy unraveled as Bob sought answers, only to discover his own identity had been scrubbed from existence. His return prompted uneasy alliances and wary glances. Then came World War Hulk, where the Sentry faced his friend-turned-destroyer, Bruce Banner. In their clash, New York became a war zone as raw anger met measured restraint. The Sentry's golden energy blast slammed into the Hulk's rage-fueled assaults, leveling downtown Manhattan in a spectacle unseen even among cosmic entities. Though both heroes emerged alive, the battle scarred their psyche and the city forever. Finally, during Dark Reign, Norman Osborn exploited Robert's fractured mind, feeding him a new serum to secure his loyalty. Osborn convinced Bob the Void was a delusion. Sentry became an enforcer for the Dark Avengers, executing missions in Osborn's name, until his wife Lindy was murdered by Bullseye at Osborn's command. The Void erupted in vengeance, nearly obliterating everything in its path. Only Thor's mercy strike restored Robert to human form, yet the damage left both hero and world forever changed. Through triumph and tragedy, one truth remained. Power without peace of mind is a curse, not a gift. Psychology and power. At its core, the Sentry Saga is a study of mental health under unimaginable stress. Robert Reynolds' schizophrenia, rooted in past trauma and addiction, laid the groundwork for the Void's birth. Therapy with psychiatrist Cornelius Worth became a cornerstone of his journey. Sessions where Sentry and the Void met in controlled settings, probing the boundaries between guilt, hope, and self-acceptance. His wife Lindy provided a fragile anchor to humanity, while his dog Watchdog offered unconditional loyalty. Critics have debated whether Sentry embodied the pinnacle of heroism or the depths of villainy. After all, the same serum that inspired selflessness could equally amplify the darkest impulses. Interviews with creators highlight that the character's appeal lies in this duality, a god with the broken psyche of a man who once stole medicine to feed an addiction. His struggle resonates because, despite cosmic stakes, it reflects the universal fight to integrate our better and worse selves into a coherent identity. Decades after his comic debut, the Sentry would finally arrive on the big screen, bringing his inner war to a global audience. Sentry in the MCU, Thunderbolts 2025. In April 2025, Marvel Studios unleashed Thunderbolts, introducing Lewis Pullman as the enigmatic Bob, soon revealed to be the MCU's Sentry. Early trailers hinted at his staggering power, bullets bouncing off him with no effect, solar energy shimmering beneath his skin. Pullman, initially feeling unworthy of the suit, found uncanny parallels between his own insecurities and Bob's fractured identity, especially the battle between Sentry's heroism and the Void's malevolence. Directed by Jake Schreier, Thunderbolts reimagined the origin. Bob's serum experiment was overseen by CIA operatives led by Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, weaving espionage into his transformation. The film's emotional core emerged when teammates risked everything to tether Bob to his humanity, momentarily suppressing the Void through empathy rather than force. Critics praised Pullman's nuanced performance, balancing quiet vulnerability with explosive power, and the film grossed over $600 million worldwide. Though Bob lost his memories of these events, a mid-credits scene confirmed his fate. He would return in Avengers Doomsday, promising deeper explorations of trauma, memory, and cosmic conflict. With his MCU debut behind him, the Sentry now stands on the threshold of his greatest test yet. What comes next? Avengers, Doomsday, and beyond. Mark your calendars, May 1st, 2026, Avengers. Doomsday will herald the Sentry's reckoning. Confirmed for Phase 6, the film reunites Pullman's Bob with Earth's mightiest heroes, facing an existential threat the MCU has never seen. Kelsey Grammer returns as Beast, hinting at mutant crossover potential, while whispers suggest the Void may escape once more, forcing Bob to confront his darker half on the grandest scale. Speculation swirls, could Sentry's power eclipse even the Beyonder? Might his sacrifice or apparent death paved the way for Secret Wars? Director Jake Schreier's creative vision remains under wraps, but Marvel's teases promise a clash of titanic forces and moral quandaries. Can ultimate power ever be wielded responsibly? As fans theorize on Reddit and beyond, one thing is certain: no hero or villain in the MCU will leave the same imprint on reality. And if Bob Reynolds has taught us anything, it's that forgetting the Sentry only invites the Void. From a GI CGI prototype to a near-divine warrior, Robert Reynolds embodies both Marvel's cosmic grandeur and human fragility. His journey through manga-sized power surges, mind-shattering betrayals, and heart-wrenching losses asks a simple question: what happens when our greatest strength is also our deepest vulnerability? As the MCU gears up for Doomsday, the Sentry stands at the precipice of destiny. Will Robert conquer the Void, or will the Void consume him, and perhaps all of existence? Only time and the box office will tell. Stay tuned.